folks, welcome back to the Fallacious Truth. I was originally going to do a second part to the previous video I made with regards to certain inequities in the court system that would have been a follow-up to my previous video. I'll go ahead and display it here. But after thinking about it for a little bit, the second part of that video, I really want to take some time to plan it, to really make sure I'm not just doing it on the fly. I mean, I could do it on the fly, but I'd rather show and source the facts and the data regarding the situation with regards to the inequities in the court system and stem off from there a little bit. But today I'm going to try something a little bit new here. I'm going to do a Fallacious Truth slightly political edition. I'm not going to make it too heavy political-wise, but you can't really talk about this particular story that I found here without bringing some element of politics into it. So I hope it's not too much one way or the other, and it doesn't piss too many people off, but I'm sure it will. So if you guys end up liking this, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll try to do more involving politics because I personally enjoy diving into the political aspect of things as well. So thank you for joining me, and let's take a listen here. All right, so there's a few types of people in this world. We have those people who eat meat, those who don't. Then there are the people who don't eat any kind of meat or any kind of animal products or byproducts at all. We call these people the militant vegans. Well, I personally call them the militant vegans, and we're going to see why here in a few minutes. Now, there's nothing wrong with being vegan. Quite honestly, plant-based diets and those like it really have many health benefits. It's easier to maintain your weight, your body's immune system is boosted, it protects better against certain diseases, and it may even help you live longer. Now on the flip side, there's nothing wrong with eating meat either. Meat eaters can reap a lot of health benefits as well, such as retaining better muscle mass and stronger bones. There's another side to this though that quite honestly people don't realize. Whether someone is a vegan or a quote-unquote meat eater, it's kind of like choosing political sides. It can be very difficult for each to get along with one another. Those who maintain and stay with a vegan diet do everything they can to persuade those who eat meat to follow their example and to do what they do. Whereas those who eat meat generally mind their own business and let everybody else do whatever they want to do because everybody has the liberty and the freedom to do what they want to do. And they know it's not their business or place to try to force somebody else to adhere to their beliefs. That parallels the political spectrum too. You have one side who is completely militant and does whatever it can to force the other side to believe and to do as they do. And then you have the converse. You have the other side of the political spectrum who absolutely has issues with their opposing side, but they don't do anything near to the extent to try to force their opposing side to believe as they do. And to do as they do. They're more content with, you know what, hey, you do you, I'll do me, and let's just be friends. So recently there was a feud. There was a feud between vegan eaters and meat eaters. And it was even made more intensified when someone tweeted a thread of a vegan asking a meat eater to close their windows when cooking meat. The individual who wrote this was a runner. She explained that it's always hard for me this time of year when the weather starts to get warmer, when it starts to warm up, and folks leave their windows open. Now, for any other normal person, that wouldn't be a problem at all. But this lady, since she is a vegan, she has to make us think about it. And she believes she's in the right to do this. She legitimately believes that if someone does not believe as her as a vegan, that she has the right to forcibly impose her beliefs on someone else. Now, I'm sure not all vegans do this, but the vast majority that I have personally met, that I personally know, I know several, they will do everything in their power to slip in something in a conversation, when you're doing something with them, anything. They will do everything in their power to slip in there that they wished you or other people were just like them and they're not content with you eating meat because they are so militant in their beliefs. They don't believe in the liberty to have one's own beliefs and let someone else be. If your beliefs conflict with them, they have a problem with it and they must do whatever they can to convince you otherwise. Well, this lady comes out to say that several nights a week she goes running around dinner time when people have their windows open and she can smell what they're cooking. She said she noticed a sharp uptick recently in the smells of folks cooking meat, and to her it's quote-unquote overpowering. She goes on to explain that the odor is offensive, and she's hoping the community can do something and start having empathy for her because she is a plant-based neighbor, and she wants them to close their windows if they're cooking meat to accommodate her. She also requested that they only put vegetables in their barbecue. Now, let's take a step back here. Like I said earlier, I don't care if you're a vegan. I don't care if you're a vegetarian. You do what you want. If that's what you like, that's what you like. I don't care. I'm not going to force you to do as I do. I'm also not going to try to go to somebody and shame you for believing as you do as well and for doing as you do. That's not right. She believes she has the narcissistic holier-than-thou ideal that you are doing something wrong that has been done for thousands upon thousands of years. It is now wrong because that is her belief. She can't simply leave well enough alone because she believes she is entitled to whatever she wants. That is the common mantra among women. Now, male vegans, they will do the same thing. And quite honestly, not all, certainly not all, but a lot of the males who are vegan, they are hyper-feminized, and they portray and do the same behavior. Like I said, not all, but a majority of them, from what I've seen, the anecdotal evidence that I've seen, do. So instead of letting people enjoy their time, instead of letting people enjoy their dinner with their family, instead of letting them enjoy the outdoors, enjoy their barbecue, have their windows open, you have to accommodate her or else. That's what's going on here. And she honestly believes she has the right to do this because she's grown up with the modern woman mentality. She's grown up with believe as I do as I do, or else. And if I have a problem with it, you are going to have a problem with it. The tweet in its entirety says this. In bold lettering, it has, please close your windows when cooking meat. Then she goes to say, as a vegan runner, it's always hard for me this time of year. The weather starts warming up and folks start opening their windows. Several nights a week, I am out running around dinner time, and when people have their windows open, I can smell what they're cooking. I've noticed a sharp uptick recently in the smells of folks cooking meat, and it can be quite overpowering to me. Quite honestly, the odor is offensive, and I'm hoping our community can have some empathy for its plant-based neighbors by closing their windows if they're cooking meat and only putting vegetables on their barbecue. Now, I don't want to be a stereotype, so I won't go into detail on why the odor of cooking animals is offensive, but I encourage you to do your research and join the movement. So, right there we have displayed exactly what I said earlier. We have the do as I do mentality, or else. By not doing what I do, you are being offensive to me and everybody else around you. And then she goes to say, well, I'm not going to be a stereotype here, but because I'm better than you, because I made the choice to not eat meat, I am by default more refined, more educated. I'm of a higher way of thinking, and I encourage you to come to my level by doing your research. I mean, the unmitigated narcissism of this woman and people like her that do this. It's just unbelievable. Why can't you simply let people be and do what they want to do? If it's that much of a problem to you, no one is stopping you from moving. No one is stopping you from taking a different route on your walks or runs at night. No one is stopping you from going further away, driving to a trail, and then running on that trail. No one is stopping you from doing these perfectly logical things, but no. She doesn't want to do this, so you must do whatever she says to accommodate her. And if you don't, she's going to take to social media to try to force you to do as she wants, instead of just leaving people be. Now, can you even imagine just for a moment if a man were to complain about anything like this, or anything at all, quite honestly? If a man were to complain about something and he demanded that everybody else around him change to accommodate him, can you imagine the backlash? Can you imagine the vitriol from those around him saying, how dare you demand anything of us? How dare you say we must change anything to accommodate you? Women have no problem getting away with this in society because they're women. They've grown up as the perpetual victim, and because of this, anything they can complain about can be wielded to their advantage. You either do as I say, or we are going to have problems. That is indicative of the perpetual victim mentality. That is indicative of the entitled narcissistic mentality that unfortunately the modern woman has today. So, once again, thank you for joining me for today's edition of The Fallacious Truth. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Share this out to your friends and family. I'd really appreciate it. So, once again, thank you much. Take care and have a great day.